Miksi sinä olet rotari? Oletko kysynyt ystäväsi mukaan toimintaan? Ja jos olet, minkälaiseen toimintaan? Tämä 8-osainen jäsenyyspodi tarttuu aiheisiin jäsenyyden, toiminnan ja rotariuden ympärillä. Jäseniä ei ole ilman toimintaa, eikä toimintaa ole ilman jäseniä. Podcastimme 3. jakso tarjoillaan teille englanniksi. Sen haastattelijana toimii Rotaraktor ja nuorisovaihdon alumni Liisa Lehtiö. Haastateltavana Liisalla on tänään Liettuasta rotari Mingaile Scherer, joka hänkin nuoresta iästään huolimatta on ehtinyt olla mukana monien uusien klubien ja toimintojen luojana sekä kehittäjänä. Nyt pääsemme näiden nuorten naisten matkaan kuulemaan siitä, mitä nuorten jäsenten silmin tarkoittaa se, että klubi on monimuotoinen.
All right. Hello there. Do you hear me?
Hello, Lisa.
Great to have you here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. I'm really excited to meet and have this wonderful conversation ahead with you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And I'm also excited. It's always nice to be talking about Rotary. Do you want to jump ahead? I have a first question for you today.
Yes, of course. Let's start.
Nowadays in Rotary, we speak a lot about DEI and how we should embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion in our clubs. Maybe we could start by explaining what does DEI really mean?
Yes, actually DEI, for me, this abbreviation combines all dimensions of a successful club. Actually, when we speak about diversity, firstly, we should think about the things that we already know or the most common for us. So it's demographic of the area, gender, age, social status of members, religion, cultural background, and the rest that we already know and that we mostly speak about. Then we think about equity, equality. We have to ensure that equal possible outcomes for every member in the club. And then we ensure this equal outcome for every member. We just need to be honest with each other. We just need to be fair with each other, with other club members. And most important, just to make feel members comfortable being in the club. Because the ensuring this equity helps for people to be themselves and to open up their best sides of what we can do for the club and for the society. And when we speak about inclusion, I think it's very, very important to mention, and the most important, that every member in the club would feel the sense of belonging to the club, would feel accepted, would feel respected, and would feel supported by other members. So when we have these feelings ensured in every member, then we can expect successful collaboration between them. Because ensuring all these parts together help to make us stronger and helps to create better bonds between members. And of course, having stronger bonds help for clubs to grow.
For sure. And I think to grow, but also members to stay in Rotary World for longer, maybe join Rotary sooner in their lives and introduce new members to Rotary if they feel like they are valued and accepted as they are.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
Do you think this is the future of Rotary, or?
Actually, I think it's the presence. It's not the future anymore. It's the presence, because this have been happening in already like in the last years, or always since the beginning when the thing. But once we start talk about it, I hope that it will elevate and it will help to open up for old-fashioned attitude people, if I could say so, because once we become more loud about it, it makes us to think, and that having a member that you would never expected to have it before, it can be comfortable. It doesn't have to be a very narrow group anymore, because the world is so wide, it's so open. And we can see in the last few years, everything is changing extremely fast speed.
I'm really happy to hear that you said that it's a current change and not something we are going to do someday in future. It sounds like it's accurate and happening now, and we don't have to wait for something to change, because people are actively doing things to make Rotary more accepting and welcome for all kinds of new people.
This is so true.
Well, Rotary or this organization has started as a men's club, but as we both agreed, it has changed during the years. But truth is, we still need more women to join Rotary to be equal in gender. But if we truly want to build equal clubs, we should also think about other factors. Which factors would you say are important for us to think about now?
You mentioned women. I think that this factor is still very, very important, because if we check statistics worldwide, we have less than like 1/3 members that are women, and we still need to talk about it. Unfortunately, as it seems that it's should be already like, how to say, part of it, higher part. But actually, when we speak about age, for example, which is also very important factor for the Rotary, I have noticed that Rotaractors, when I say Rotaractors, I mean the age between 25, 30 years old. And what I noticed that in Rotaract, it's like 50-50. 50% of women and 50% of men, more or less, like give or take 10%. So when we speak about age and inviting new members, younger members to join I think that will help to increase the percentage of women as well in Rotary. And when we speak about involving this younger age, I also think that it's very important to be open and not only to think how we can attract them to our club, but also we can think, because it might be hard if the average age is very high in the Rotary Club, to attract younger people. And so I think that we have to think how to create the new space for them, let's say how to help them to create a new club, like how to give them this freedom to shape the club that they want to have. That's, I think, it's also one very important key factor when we speak about age inclusion in our current Rotary days. And the third, I wanted to say what else we could add. So, of course, we have to become more open for different culture backgrounds. All countries, all districts, we have a lot of foreigners, and we could integrate them, and we have to be open about it since we speak
totally
about
agree
diversity.
with you for sure. Yes.
Yeah. And we have to think a little bit bigger, because even though we all mostly we say, foreigners, we leave a country, but we might not leave Rotary, we join in other countries as well. So, and then we can just expand our friendship, partnership with other districts in other countries. So we have to be open for that. And of course, social status, I think we also can be more flexible about it, because I think every member can be a perfect asset for the club. And because we all have to be different to ensure a perfect team, because everyone has different features, their strongest features.
Yes,
so
for sure.
Be open and attracting more, I think it would help.
That is totally correct. I think, when we think about Rotary, I think it's all about doing good to others. And doing good doesn't come from your age or gender or where you're from or what you have done before. It's all about you as a person, but we want to get people from different backgrounds and different type of interests and different personalities, so we can get a more diverse group that can do more good to other people, I think.
I completely agree, and this is why we have to just become a little bit more open about it.
Well, what can we do about it? What would you say that clubs can do to take this DEI to action?
I think that there is a lot of things, and actually perfect example is this podcast. It's the first step, because it's extremely important. Start talking about it. Because while we speak about it, it gets more and more familiar to us, and then we can become a little bit more open about it and learn how to be more respectful for these differences. Second thing, I think that we should not be scared of changes. Also, clubs should be ready for the changes, because changes are happening, and it's extremely important to strengthen the clubs. The third thing I would say, raise awareness. And one more thing, I think that we should just start acting by inviting. It's like you can think a lot about a lot of steps, but the best step or the most important step is just take the phone, check your phone book, and think, who can be a perfect member, but I did not think about it before, or I was too shy to invite, and just make this call, just make this invitation, just invite for coffee and share, like what a great Rotarian experience can be. And just start acting, like I think that there is no extremely many big secrets about it. Just simple actions.
It is simple, but it's the first step we have to take towards making the difference we want. And I think it's not anymore about a person having to change to something to fit the Rotary Club, but for the Rotary Club, for the Rotary world itself to change for the person who wants to enter the club and be a part of the Rotary world and a member.
By introducing, by acting, we can increase our impact. Like we can create a long-lasting foundation for the change and develop strategies. And while doing that, we have to highlight the importance of extremely meaningful projects, service projects. This is what the organization is still about, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what we say or what we think, members are first, and members are the most important of the club.
Well, I don't have any more questions for you. Maybe we could conclude our ideas from today.
I think for old-fashioned clubs, my message would be that imagine that you can be the best mentors to create a new platform for new clubs. This is the best. Some clubs, they don't want to have new members, and it's fine. It's not a problem. But be open the organization for them. Yes. Give them the chance to prove that they can start, create, and run a perfect new Rotary club.
So let's not change the people to fit Rotary, but change our way of thinking so they can be themselves and start doing projects or things they are interested in.
Exactly. And they will create and they will bring this diversity. They will bring this equality and inclusion to the organization. And our club, like the old-fashioned club, can stay the same way, but by sharing the experience, I think this is the best what can happen.
Yes, we don't want to change for the idea of change, but to do even more good in the future and keep Rotary going. Well, do you want to add something? Because I want to thank you for the conversation.
I just want to add that we should think twice sometimes and be less strict in this way, because we see that the organization is changing dramatically, changing very fast. And in other countries, we can see that members, sometimes when you don't expect them, if you would meet them, be a perfect Rotarian. However, with their actions, their input, they make a great project and they make the change in the society. So let's be open and let's create a nicer and better future together.
Thank you so much. I'm truly inspired by your way of thinking.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate your invitation and your time. And thank you very much.
Have a great day, and maybe we will meet again in the future.
I hope so. Looking forward. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Kuuntelit juuri Rotaripiirin 1410 jäsenyyspodin 3. osan. Toivottavasti opit jotain uutta Rotaritoiminnasta ja toivottavasti hyppäät kyytiin myös ensi kerralla. Kaikki jaksot löydät osoitteesta rotari.fi/D1410.